Gira. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Nunakal Yagara Aboriginal dancers, descendants of two different tribes, the Nunakal of North Stradbroke Island and also the Yagara from right here in the Brisbane area. Stretching all the way from the mouth of the Brisbane River out to the Great Dividing Ranges at the foothills of the Warwick and Toowoomba Range, back down through to the Caboolture River and as far down south to the Logan River. Within the tribe there are several different sub-clans, the Yagara, the Yurrupul and the Turrbal people. On behalf of those people, we would like to extend a warm welcome here and say which means you're welcome to gather here on this country, and may God and all of our ancestors guide us in peace. This first song and dance we'd like to do for you here today is one which we call Malacha. Malacha is our welcoming song to welcome you and also the good ngoro, the good ancestors, the good spirits. Oh, nanya yagara ngoro. Oh, nanya Malacha. Yo, eh. Welcome. This next song and dance is one of our yurti, our totem. For those of you who don't know what a totem is, it's a representation of your family group or your clan. This could be a tree or an animal, but this tree or animal, we don't touch, harm or kill in any way. For us here in this region, in the Yagara people, one of our major totems is what we call Yorgara. Yorgara is the Sangowana. Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma. Babo naringan yamanil, baba yalwa yagora, bumlar maron, yalwa yagora, bumlar maron. Babo naringan yamanil, baba yalwa yagora, bumlar maron. Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma, Bayameng Island Burma, na Berling Island Burma. Baba yalwa yagora bumlar maron yalwa yagora bumlar maron babo naringan yamanil baba yalwa yagora bumlar maron Bayameng Island Burma na Berling Island Burma Bayameng Island Burma na Berling Island Burma Bayameng Island Burma na Berling Island Burma Bayameng Island Burma na Berling Island Burma. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It's been our pleasure to come here and share a little bit of the culture with you and have a good time with you this evening. But this does bring us to our final song of this evening, and this one is what we call Jaguna. Jaguna is a song about respecting Mother Earth. As Aboriginal people, we believe that we don't own this land. The land owns us, and we're just here to maintain it and keep it for future generations. So this one is Jaguna, respecting Mother Earth. So on behalf of the Nunakku Yagara Aboriginal dancers, it was our pleasure to come here and showcase a little bit of the culture. We hope you enjoy the rest of this evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome along tonight. Keep that applause going, if you would, for the Nunakku Yagara Aboriginal Dance Troupe. And a huge welcome to you as well to the 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year Awards. This is my favourite night of the year. My name's Craig Zonka.
I'm Loretta Ryan, and yes, it is our pleasure to be your hosts this evening in the beautiful Plaza Terrace here at the Conventions and Exhibition Centre. I can't believe we're here, and look at you all. You're so orderly. I feel like I'm a teacher in front of a class. And well done. And I love the way you're distanced there. Put your hands out.
That's right.
Can't touch
If you
anybody.
just put your hand out, if you wouldn't mind. Just want to make sure that you cannot touch the person beside you. Obviously, this is the new normal for us in this COVID-19 world that we're living in. But can I tell you how excited I am to be seeing people face to face? You know, this would be the biggest crowd that I think we've been in front of throughout 2020. And what a night to celebrate.
You all look scared, though. We're going to have some fun tonight.
We will. We will be asking you to applaud, to cheer, to yell. You can be as loud as you like, because it's not just those in the room. We need to be able to hear, so my mum in Rockhampton, who's tuning in via the live stream, can hear you as well. So that would be highly appreciated, because that's, I guess, what we're all about, is celebrating the great achievements of Queenslanders and Australians. But before we get into official proceedings, not only for the Nunakku Yagara Aboriginal Dance Troupe, but for Waveney Yasso, who was entertaining you before, would you please put your hands together?
Yeah, she was wonderful. We'd also like to respectfully acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which this event is taking place, and elders past, present and emerging.
We also would like to acknowledge the Premier, Anastasia Palaszczuk, also the Minister for Trade, Carly Brand, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Australia Day Council, Directors General with the Queensland Government, the Queensland Australian of the Year nominees and guests, Queensland Australian of the Year alumni, sponsors, selection panel members who have had a tough job of judging all the nominations, and of course you for being here tonight. I think that deserves a round of applause, particularly for our nominees tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
And of course, although the proceedings do look a little bit different to last year, to other years, due to the COVID-19 restrictions, I'm just going to move away a bit from you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Loretta, we're just edging a little too close.
Yes, we still have a prestigious event ahead, and to those present, look, just please enjoy the night, and as you said, to those watching online, you are going to enjoy this. We have some very inspirational people you're going to meet.
And I think it's fair to say in 2020, in this year of all years, that Aussie spirit has really come to the fore, hasn't it? You know, through natural disasters. That's how the year started. Bushfires, of course. We'd seen them in Queensland towards the end of 2019, then of course elsewhere around the country to start 2020. COVID-19 came upon us. The lockdowns of March into April. And we've seen the nation's heroes inspire us with their selfless acts, going above and beyond, doing what they do with passion, with energy, with enthusiasm, whether it's braving those bushfires to save the lives of people and wildlife, whether it's showing kindness through charity to help those in need, or caring for those who have suffered during the coronavirus pandemic. The best of us have displayed the qualities that make us proud to call Queensland and Australia home.
And I think you've probably seen it yourselves in your own suburbs, in your own neighbourhoods, just the kindness of people. That's what I've noticed, people looking out for each other. So through this tough time, maybe we've had a few positives come out of it, and that's, you know, the human kindness and spirit.
And it's those extraordinary achievements that we are here tonight to celebrate, to talk up. We want you leaving here spreading that message, spreading that inspiration as well, as we round out 2020 and look ahead to 2021.
Yeah, it's truly extraordinary nominees, extraordinary Australians, and we don't often get a chance to thank them in person, so please join me in thanking them now. Another round of applause. And this evening, you are welcome to join us in recognising our heroes too. You know about social media. We have to do that now. Support them. Hashtag Oz of the Year. So hashtag AUS of the Year across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever else you do.
Yeah, you'll see a blurry photo of Loretta and myself taken in front of the screen earlier. This year, there have been more than double the award nominations were received. That's quite incredible, isn't it? Reflecting the contributions from Queenslanders around the state. From those nominations, our selection panel has chosen 18 incredible people who are being celebrated as nominees this evening across a number of categories. One recipient will be announced in each of these: Australia's Local Hero, Young Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, and, of course, Queensland's Australian of the Year for 2021.
And these 4 recipients will then go on to join other state and territory recipients at the National Awards on the eve of Australia Day 2021, announced by the Prime Minister and broadcast live on ABC TV and iView. And whatever the outcome this evening, all our nominees richly deserve to be here. We congratulate them for reaching this important stage of the nation's most prestigious awards program.
So tonight you'll have the pleasure of being in the company of those who have won previously and those who will be the recipients tonight. To get things started, I'd now like to invite Anastasia Palaszczuk, the Premier of Queensland and Minister for Trade, to the stage. Please make the Premier welcome.
Well, good evening, everyone. Can I first of all acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we gather and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Can I, of course, acknowledge Craig and Loretta? Can we give them a round of applause for being our MCs this evening? Thank you. Can I acknowledge Carly Brand, the Chief Executive Officer of National Australia Day Council, Queensland Australian of the Year nominees and your guests, previous winners, the selection panel. Didn't they have a difficult job? I wouldn't like their job. The sponsors, my Director General Dave Stewart's with us here this evening. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, well, good evening. It's a great honour to join with you tonight to recognise the outstanding contributions to our state of the men and women who've been nominated for Queensland Australian of the Year awards. Every year around this time, signposts in the calendar point us towards the end of the year and the beginning of a new one. Summer storms, school exams and Christmas decorations, which have already appeared in the shops, not that I've seen them, I've just been on the campaign trail, tell us that although there's still plenty of work to do, the year is finishing fast. One of these annual milestones is tonight's important event. The announcement of the Queensland Australian of the Year recipients remind us that Australia Day in January is around the corner and 2020 will soon be winding down. And having soldiered on together through the coronavirus pandemic, perhaps we will be forgiven to saying goodbye to 2020. But that would be too hasty, I think, and it would overlook the positives that have also come out of this challenging year. Because yes, although COVID has hurt us in many ways, it has also served to highlight, as Craig and Loretta said, our wonderful community spirit and resolve. Just to see communities come together, people spend more time with their families, catching up with friends, talking to one another more, all these little things, catching up with neighbours, talking to our elderly relatives more. It's really emphasised what a community is all about. The ever-inspiring efforts of people who serve their families, their neighbours and their fellow Queenslanders have been on display nearly every single day. We honour those traits every year when we announce the Queensland recipients for Australian of the Year, Senior Australian of the Year, Young Australian of the Year and Australia's Local Hero. We saw it again last year in all of the nominees and the recipients: Rachel Downey, Peter Dornan, Ash Barty and Nick Marshall. And while every year we have fresh reasons to extol the virtues of our outstanding fellow Queenslanders, 2020 frames the awards in a special way. All of tonight's nominees are role models, local champions and leaders in their fields, and I'm delighted that we come together to recognise and celebrate your positive impact on Queensland. One of the things that makes me proud as Premier is that the nominees are exemplary, not only unique. You are outstanding. but not alone. You represent the best of us, which means that there are many more around us who also deserve our gratitude and admiration. But the 16 who have been nominated tonight have earned our particular praise. You stand with, you equip and you advocate for our carers, our healthcare providers, our educators, our First Nation Queenslanders, our rural communities and our most vulnerable. Your campaigns on road safety, conservation and climate change, just to name a few. You help those with disabilities, you offer a shield from domestic and family violence, and you demonstrate every single day that ordinary life produces extraordinary people. And on behalf of our state, I warmly congratulate all of you. And I wish the final 4 recipients the very best in representing Queensland at the national announcement on the eve of Australia Day 2021. Thank you everyone for coming along tonight, and can I share with everyone how lovely it is to see people in a room like this. It does bring back that we are getting back to some sense of normality, especially here in Queensland, and hopefully over the coming months and the coming years we will look back on this time as a time that tested us, but we came out of it all that much stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Premier, for those words, and I'd like to invite you, Premier, to remain on stage so we can present the awards tonight.
That's right. So it's now time to introduce our first award tonight. This is Australia's Local Hero. This award recognises Australians making significant contributions in their local community. Let's take a closer look at the category and the important work of the amazing recipients over the years.
Local heroes are really important to keeping Australian communities strong because they're the glue. They're there to inspire, to communicate with, to stay motivated, to lift everybody in that community when the chips are down.
I stand before you not as an individual, but as a proud representative of every teacher around the country.
Community's much more than belonging to something. It's about doing something together that makes belonging matter.
Anything's possible. You are the answer, and it only starts with a simple thing.
Australia's Local Hero category was added to reflect so many Australians out there that contribute to their local community.
When I give, I feel incredible joy, but I also feel this great sense of connection.
Our local heroes are everyday Australians who achieve extraordinary things. These are Australians who we celebrate as an example of what we can achieve when we put others before ourselves.
Australia's Local Hero Award celebrates remarkable Australians who go above and beyond to be active citizens, making extraordinary contributions in their local communities and showcasing our Australian values. They do not seek praise, but simply want to make their community a better place. So congratulations to all of the finalists in the Australia Local Hero Awards.
Out of our almost countless millions of fellow Australians, we choose this handful each year to honour them, to support them and to encourage them.
Out of our tragedy, we created Dolly's dream, a vision to educate families and communities on the impacts that bullying has on young lives.
To our Aussie kids doing it tough, hang on, don't give up, help's on the way.
These are the people that form the fabric of our nation. They're on call 24/7 and will jump whenever there's an emergency or someone needs help. And as I say, they show you what's great about the people of Australia.
People. This category acknowledges so much vital work at a local level in communities all around our state. We should be proud. So now the nominees for the 2021 Queensland Local Hero are...
Leanne and Stuart Brosnan, who are dedicated to improving the lives of regional drought-affected communities and protecting their wildlife. As director of the Wombat Foundation, Leanne has worked to build community awareness of the northern hairy-nosed wombat's plight and has built relationships with landowners to help secure its future. She has helped coordinate initiatives aimed at invigorating the local economy, including silo art murals, a wombat sculpture and conservation of an historic homestead. Stuart has worked tirelessly in his role as CEO and then CFO to grow and develop community lifestyle support in Bundaberg. The organisation now supports around 500 people with a disability by providing lifestyle choices and maximising their potential. Natasha Johnston, the founder of a service that delivers care packages and financial assistance to thousands of drought-stricken farming families across Queensland and New South Wales. Drought Angels provides a listening ear in addition to financial assistance and food hampers. This personalised service provides a lifeline for farmers who often don't reach out for help. Natasha's work plays a vital role in reducing rates of depression and suicide, as well as helping to keep farmers on their land. Angela Mancy, a businesswoman who uses her platform to reach out to community members in need. She hosts large charity events, raising thousands of dollars for numerous hospitals and good causes. Angela is also part of the Alliance for Suicide Prevention, which advocates for mental health awareness and support. Angela is founder and director of Driven by KM, which supports the families of terminally ill children on the Sunshine Coast. Mary O'Brien, who is working to highlight mental health issues in men living in rural and remote areas of Australia. Mary has developed the Are You Bogged Mate initiative specifically for men who work in the rural sector with the aim of reducing suicide rates among this group. The initiative is to help men recognise that support is available, encourages them to reach out and promotes conversations around mental health. The positive feedback from workshops demonstrates the significant impact Mary is having on men in rural and outback Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, we told you we're celebrating Queensland's best of the best, those that go above and beyond. And this is just a taste of the stories that you'll hear right throughout this evening. Amazing people doing incredible things. Unfortunately, Stuart and Leanne Brosnan are not able to join us here in person in Brisbane, but I think we have managed to stream them in online. So if you wouldn't mind just turning around to the camera, giving them a bit of a wave as well. There they are on the big screen. G'day, Leanne. Hi, Stuart. Lovely to see you.
That's great.
And would you please put your hands together in congratulating all of the nominees for Australia's Local Hero for Queensland for this year.
And it is great to hear their stories, isn't it? We would like to invite to the stage Queensland's 2020 Local Hero recipient, Adjunct Assistant Professor Nick Marshall, a sports and musculoskeletal physiotherapist, to share his experience as the 2020 recipient. In 2015, Nick created Albatross Nippers, an all-inclusive nipper program helping children with special needs. Please make Nick welcome.
Look, it's a true honour to be here and to hand over the baton to this year's community hero or local hero. I guess this is an honour that was bestowed upon me this time last year for creating the Albatross Nippers and essentially giving children with special needs and a disability a chance to re-engage with their community and with their local peers by joining their local surf club. It's been a pretty crazy year, obviously, but despite that, we were able to build our program not just here in Queensland, but in more surf clubs across the country, and in fact had a couple of surf clubs internationally that have picked up our program as well. I guess, but 2020, plenty of things stopped this year. We saw schools stop, we saw businesses stop, we saw sports stop, but the one thing we didn't see stop was all our nominees this evening, all our tremendous finalists in each category. And you know, they continue to sort of persevere with a cause greater than their own. And I think, and I wish them all the very best, not just tonight, but continuing on their journey wherever that sort of should take them. You know, we're living in a period of time where the world needs better people, and you need to look no further than the finalists tonight to see what blueprint a better person looks like. So I certainly wish them well beyond here. Lastly, I just need to make sure, because I didn't do it all year, that I thank my long-suffering wife who's been with me through the entire journey. A lot of the time she does have to actually endure rather than enjoy a lot of the things that I drag her along to, but I wouldn't be here without you, so thank you.
Has she been waiting for that since last year?
It's only taken you 12 months, Nick. Nick Marshall, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together once more. And Premier, you have the envelope, so could you please tell us who is the 2021 local hero for Queensland?
I have the magic envelope, and the local hero for Queensland is Natasha Johnson.
Just come up here and I'll ask you a couple of questions. Congratulations. I'll get you to talk into this microphone though.
Thank you.
Natasha, what first inspired you? What was that moment that made you decide to set up Drought Angels?
It was actually, I almost lost my mum to suicide in the early 90s from when they had a farm out at Leeburn, from the pressures of the farm and banking and no income for a few years because of drought and floods. But there was one particular story of a farmer in northwest Queensland who was trying to sell his cattle, and the trucks came to take them to market, and when they got there the cattle were too poor. When these trucks left empty, sadly, and this farmer then shot all of his cattle. He shot his working dogs and then he shot himself. And it took me back to when I was in my early 20s and late teens, and I just needed to do something to try to stop another farmer from doing that.
Yeah. And how will this award, this recognition help you and help Drought Angels?
I think it'll raise the profile of Drought Angels so that we can continue to assist our farmers. The drought hasn't gone away, and we're here for fire and floods and any natural disaster. So I think, and raising the plight of our farmers at how valuable and important they are to the Australian people, and without them we'd all go hungry. So I think it's important that we all value our farmers.
And every day for you, you must see the thanks that they give to you. I mean, how does that make you feel?
Oh, very humbled. We receive beautiful emails, phone calls, text messages, messenger messages, you know, thanking us every day for what we do. You know, for like one lady thanked us for giving us extra time with her husband. You know, and other people have recently thanked us because they wouldn't have had a Christmas without us. So it's wonderful to receive the thank yous from our farmers.
Well, you're wonderful. Congratulations, Natasha Johnston.
Thank you.
Keep that applause going, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I like to hear.
The local hero.
Queensland's local hero of the year.
Now on to the Young Australian of the Year category. And this award recognises inspiring young Australians aged between 16 to 30 who have accomplished great things already in all walks of life.
Since 1979, we've had the Young Australian of the Year category, and that's acknowledging 16 to 30-year-olds. And let's face it, youth is the future of the nation.
I truly view this award not just as for me, but rather as an endorsement of the achievements of the Australian women's football national team, and more broadly, Australian women's football and women's sport in general.
Whether it be through encouragement, support, or their own ambition, we all deserve the chance to dream. So dream big, Australia, because anything's possible.
Inspiring others, educating others, you know, celebrating the fact that we have a fantastic country to live in where we can be and grow to our full potential.
We have the power to shape the future and make Australia a place where we're all proud, where we all belong, and where we stand united.
This award ceremony is in a sense a celebration of the idea that individuals use his or her ability to give back to our great nation.
To look at our Young Australians of the Year is to glimpse into the future of our great nation. Their tenacity, commitment and success defy their age. These are young Australians who are making a lasting difference to our great nation.
It takes about 1 hour to wash and dry someone's clothes, and after about 2 minutes to set up, there's not a huge amount to do. So we pull out the 6 orange chairs and everyone sits around and has a really nice chat, and that 1 hour time is a really powerful time for that.
You look for integrity, you look for human decency, and you look for energy.
For me, it's my whole life, all of my team, all of everyone that I work with, it's about being your authentic self. Like I said, just trying to do the best that you can, regardless of what you do, whether it's in sport, in life, in anything. So this is incredibly humbling, and yeah, I know that it's going to be something that sits very, very, very high on my mental piece at home.
I dream of an Australia where people are not afraid of learning Auslan, of having a go and uniting with a language that is uniquely Australian.
When you look at what they've done, and you look at where they're going, we're in good hands.
Let's find out who the nominees are for the 2021 Queensland Young Australian of the Year.
Brothers Daniel and William Clark, who are passionate conservationists for the critically endangered orangutan populations in Borneo and Sumatra. Since 2008, they have highlighted the species' plight and raised more than $900,000 to help protect the animals. The brothers' literary work on orangutan conservation has been incorporated into the New South Wales Department of Education curriculum. To date, Daniel and William have spoken to more than 60,000 school students Australia-wide, inspiring other young people to make a positive difference in the world. Annabelle Mackay, a nurse who is recognised by her patients and colleagues for delivering an outstanding level of compassion and care. She divides her time between caring for vulnerable cancer patients and educating aspiring practitioners at the University of Southern Queensland. The youngest full-time academic in her department, Annabelle has already made remarkable achievements in nursing education, despite a daily struggle with profound deafness. Annabelle has received numerous honours for her unwavering dedication to the healthcare community, including Australian Nurse of the Year. Dr. Alexander Tedman, who has revolutionised access to dermatological healthcare in Queensland. To help address the higher incidence of skin disease in remote communities, Alexander pioneered the development of telehealth dermatology services. This enables patients to get specialist treatment via their GP or local hospital. In its first year, the Sunshine Coast service saw more than 300 patients, driving a 50% reduction in wait lists. Alexander has also led the way in educating the medical community about the possible uses of telehealth, presenting his findings at conferences across Australia and internationally. Darcy Witherspoon, the founder of a non-profit organisation that provides healthy hot meals and clothing to vulnerable members of the community. Darcy regularly drives his van to Brisbane Parklands to cook hot food for homeless locals. He also dedicates time to having one-on-one conversations with people who are sleeping rough or struggling with financial hardship. By providing emotional support without judgment, Darcy fosters a sense of belonging and helps alleviate stress and loneliness.
Ladies and gentlemen, these young Queenslanders are making a difference each and every day. And I tell you what, I think they deserve a round of applause, don't you? Please put your hands together. Our 2020 Young Australian of the Year, Ash Barty, wasn't able to be here with us this evening, so we're going to move straight on to the moment we're all here for. So, Premier, it's over to you. Would you please announce the recipient of the Young Queensland Australian of the Year for 2021?
Well, the Young Australian of the Year for Queensland is Daniel and William Clark.
Wait for some microphones to come around. I think I remember interviewing Daniel and William years ago, when you first started the project for the orangutans. Tell me, firstly, what inspired that? What was the reason that you wanted to help the orangutans?
Well, it all started when we were really young. We were both watching Steve Owen documentaries and we absolutely fell in love with him. And then when he passed away in 2006, I said to Mum, who's going to save the orangutans now that Steve Owen's gone? Yeah. And I quickly turned around to her and said, why can't we do it? And it just started from there to raising money at our local school, and then it just snowballed.
And then from my perspective, I then saw the work that Daniel was doing early on in the quest, and I saw the ways that I could help him as a brother to team up, and knowing that we could do so much more together as a team for the orangutans that we could ever do individually. And that's led to an amazing body of work over the last 12 years, campaigning for the orangutans for more than half of our lives. And it has not only changed our lives and how we see the world, but also, Daniel and I know, has impacted the lives of so many other students around Australia, so that they know that they have the ability to follow and find their own passions for the environment.
Yes, it has impacted the students you speak to. That you know, what do they say to you about what you're doing? You know, do you get buoyed by that?
We've gotten so many stories from other students that have been so engaged in the message that we share with them. In fact, there's been some other students that have come to us and said, because of our presentation, they have more direction in their life and they want to grow up to become a psychologist. Just because they take such unique messages and inspiration to know that even as part of the younger generation, we still have so much agency and ability to make a difference and to make our world a better place, no matter how old we are or where we come from.
What does 2021 hold then?
2021 holds a lot of interesting opportunities, and what Daniel and I are hoping for is that it's been our whole quest along our entire journey to reach $1 million raised for the orangutans, and we're so close. I think we're just over 900,000 at the moment, so we are so close. So we're hoping in 2021 that we can finally reach that goal. And also, we've seen a lot of success around the nation about our body of work being implemented within the educational curriculum, and we're hoping that that can be implemented within Queensland or within other schools, because we can see the impacts and the benefits that it has on students in their perspective of our world.
Wow, congratulations, Daniel and William Clark, well done.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Don't forget your award here.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know you have a job to do. That's to keep that applause going for Daniel and William Clark. And so close to that $1 million mark. I reckon they will certainly surpass that. In fact, maybe they should just pass the hat around tonight, yes. And they might get to that $1 million mark before we even get to 2021. I tell you, gee, it gives you hope for the future, doesn't it? It makes me think back to what I was doing in my 20s and...
What were you doing?
I don't feel worthy being on this stage and sharing it with the likes of Daniel and William. Well, from the young, let's go to those with a few more years under their belt and talk about the Senior Australian of the Year for Queensland. This award celebrates the ongoing achievements of Australians aged 65 years and over who continue to challenge themselves and inspire others.
Our Senior Australians are so inspiring. A lifetime of work. They can really show the young people of Australia a way forward. And these awards where we recognise the Senior Australian of the Year is a real platform to put them in the spotlight.
Only by accepting, correcting and building on mistakes can we eventually experience the satisfaction of doing something or seeing something that has never been done or seen before.
I pray that all people in our wonderful country, Australia, regardless of language, culture, skin colour or religious belief, may stand tall as proud Australians.
Reading is probably the most powerful thing that you can give to a child, reading and stories.
It's a reflection and acknowledgement of people who have pretty much had a lifetime of making a contribution to this nation and inspiring those people around them.
We are a nation built on stories, and the stories our Senior Australians of the Year tell are of tireless dedication, perseverance and commitment to improving the lives of others. This award gives us an opportunity to celebrate our Senior Australians and the achievements of their life's work.
Senior Australians have contributed greatly to the building of this nation. The Senior Australian of the Year Awards are an opportunity to recognise the outstanding contribution that you continue to make. The people nominated for these awards are role models for their families, their peers, for all Australians, no matter their age.
We need to remember that we adults are the drivers for the world our children experience every day. Raising children is so much more than a family responsibility.
The road has not been easy, and we need to be more accepting of each other.
I stand here representing all of you. This is a whole-of-nation effort now, and I'm very proud and thrilled that this award will help propagate our efforts.
Our Senior Australians have had a lifetime of experience, but it doesn't stop now.
The Senior Australian of the Year category have and continue to shape our nation.
And now let's look at the nominees for the 2021 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year.
Carmel Crouch, the founder of programs that train and support young people with a disability to help them achieve independence. After adopting a son with disabilities, Carmel spearheaded the development of steps to help people with a disability transition into the mainstream workforce. Carmel is passionate about promoting equality for all individuals and has developed programs providing Indigenous Australians, Torres Strait Islanders and refugees with training and employment opportunities. In 2019, she was awarded an Australia Day ambassadorship for her 32 years of tireless service. McRose Elu, a Torres Strait Islander elder who is a tireless advocate for her community. McRose has an unwavering vision to bring about change to better the lives of children and families. Since 1948, she's been drawing global attention to the impact of climate change on the Torres Strait. McRose advocates for renewable energy and sustainable methods of production. She was instrumental in negotiations to legally recognise the traditional customary adoption practices of Torres Strait Islander families in Queensland. Jeanette Johnston, the creator of a humanitarian project that repurposes donated technology to bring online education to the offline world. By transforming a single laptop into a server, Jeanette's project enables up to 100 devices to connect to enormous databases of information. Teacher in a Box has been implemented in over 100 sites around the world, including schools, orphanages and universities. The information it provides enhances the lives of many in disadvantaged and remote communities. The project also reduces e-waste by giving laptops a second life. Betty Taylor, who has worked to prevent family violence for almost 30 years. As a member of the Domestic Violence Death Review Board, she established Domestic and Family Violence Prevention Week. Betty has contributed to developing domestic violence responses, supporting survivors and raising public awareness. She also introduced initiatives like the Candle Lighting Vigil and annual Red Rose Rally to honour victims. Now CEO of the Red Rose Foundation, Betty is committed to putting non-lethal domestic violence strangulation on the public agenda.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are your Senior Australian of the Year nominees for Queensland, dedicating their lives day after day, not slowing down at all, to improving the tomorrow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure they deserve a round of applause, wouldn't you agree? And I'd like to invite last year's recipient, Queensland's 2020 Senior Australian of the Year, Peter Dornan, to the stage to offer some words of advice. Peter is a sports medicine physiotherapist and men's health activist who has created so much change in the treatment management for men with prostate cancer. Please, would you put your hands together for Peter Dornan.
Thank you, Craig and Rebecca. Can I make two quick comments first? I've just realised that there's a little milestone here. Nick Marshall and myself are the first two physiotherapists to get this award in the whole of Australia. Must make that comment. Hope we open the door up, Nick. And secondly, my wife, Dimity, was the Australian of the Year for Queensland in 2006, and she was the Senior Australian of the Year 2018. And I suspect we're the first two husband and wife teams to have done that in two separate fields. So I just thought I might make that comment. When I was awarded the title of 2020 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year, I resolved I would like to be a force for change in male health and behaviour. After recovering from a prostate cancer diagnosis in 1996, I had marvellous plans to lecture, talk, write and lead meetings with some key messages. Predominantly, the idea was to start a conversation as to why men did not look after their health. COVID put paid to that. Instead, I decided to take advantage of the isolation and write a book. The working title is Peacock Refeathered, Reimagining a Modern Male. The resulting research opened a tremendous change in focus. I found the answer to these questions probably began 200,000 years ago as our Homo sapien ancestors evolved in East Africa to become the dominant species. The stronger males, the hunters, assumed three main roles, the three Ps, to protect, provide and procreate. And I'm not too sure which order they came in, probably procreate first. I suggest that in modern times, these inherited responsibilities impoverish and alienate men. We now reveal two serious legacies. Males still have to be seen to be invincible. And secondly, women were perceived to be inferior, forging an unbroken line through millennia of cultural male dominance. It is time for men to retreat from our ivory tower of manhood, to shed our mantle of machoism. It is time to ask for help. And importantly, we need to share community and life decisions equally with our partner. The results of this symbiosis will activate the most positive bond ever embraced by society. I do wish the 2021 Queensland Senior Australian of the Year the best of luck and to take every advantage of the marvellous podium and leverage the title can bestow. Thank you.
Peter Dornan, ladies and gentlemen. Peacock be feathered. Keep an eye out for that. Will it be out in time for Christmas, Peter? Next Christmas. There you go, on the list for Christmas 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Peter Dornan, if you would, please.
What was that, Peter? Yes. Yeah. Yes, I've been trying to do it for years.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now to our recipient this year as Queensland Senior Australian of the Year. Premier, you have the envelope.
I do indeed. Our Senior Australian of the Year for Queensland is Auntie McRose Elu.
Congratulations, Auntie McRose. Come over here and we'll have a bit of a chat. Here's the microphone. You're a bit overwhelmed, aren't you?
Yeah.
What does this award mean to you?
Oh, means a lot to me. And so many words, so I think I'm a bit hesitant this evening and a bit overwhelmed to say it all, but it means a lot to me. And I just respect and honour the people that I work with, my own family, my upbringing and discipline from my families back home, and for everything and everybody that walked with me in my career life to bring me up to this. And this is awesome.
Why is what you do so important? What you do every day, why is it so important?
I love people. I love people of the world. I love people of this nation. It's from my upbringing and discipline from my parents, especially my father. He's a great educator and advisor in my life. Once upon a time, when I was on the boat, he described the rainbow to me because I wanted to know what the rainbow colors were. And he said to me that was God's creation. And in this world is made out of beautiful colors. And he said to me that always been in my heart for many, many years is, you will embrace, you will respect, and you will honor and always listen. But his last words were, do not be judgmental, be loving, be kind, and honored, and be respectful. I think that's what inspired me in my journey.
Yeah, he certainly inspired you.
Thank you.
And that journey for next year, what's involved? What's going to happen in the future?
Well, as long as I'm breathing and strong to continue the work that I do with the larger communities, my love for the people, the nation, the reconciliation, and everything else, the people that I work with, contact with, come every day. And I would like to be maybe the mentor or the person for the young people that I hope one day that they will journey through and become what I am today.
I'll become Auntie McRose.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations, our Senior Australian of the Year, Auntie McRose Elu. Well done. Auntie McRose, don't forget this.
I just love those words, this is awesome. Doesn't that sum it up? That is so good. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please put your hands together once more for our Queensland Senior Australian of the Year, Arnie McRose.
Now, before moving to the final award this evening, we would like to thank and to acknowledge the generous partners who together make this awards program possible. There's a lot of them to get through tonight, so we want to do that.
Yeah, our National Diversity and Inclusion partner, Chevron, helps to inspire and foster unity and connect people of all ages and backgrounds.
The Australian of the Year category partner, Australia Post, supports the national recipient in the delivery of their vital messaging nationwide.
The Department of Health is the category partner for the Senior Australian of the Year award, and the Department of Home Affairs is the Local Hero Award category partner.
And we thank our broadcast partner, the ABC.
Go, Auntie.
Who will screen the national announcement live on ABC and iView on January the 25th.
Or you can tune into us at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning on ABC Radio Brisbane. Our other media partners include the Australian Community Media, who help to inspire millions of Australians by telling the stories of our extraordinary state and territory recipients and supporting the call for nominations around the country.
The alumni partner is the International Day of People with Disability.
We thank our official hotel partner, the Intercontinental Hotels Group. We appreciate the warm hospitality for our travelling nominees and recipients.
And we would also like to thank the cultural partner, the Australian National University, who through its schools of art and music and the amazing students there has designed the trophies and composed the music being played for our recipients tonight.
Yeah, those trophies are spectacular. Our thanks also go to exhibition partner, the National Museum of Australia, who delivered the Australian of the Year exhibition around the country each and every year.
And we appreciate the continued support of the legal partner, Mintner Allison. And please join us in thanking the Queensland Government as our state partner.
A big thank you to all our partners for their vital ongoing support. Our final award for this evening. We're dragging it out, won't we, ladies and gentlemen? Just to build the suspense that little bit more. Our final award tonight is the 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year.
History shows us the amazing fields of endeavour that have been covered off in the Australian of the Year awards. We've got musicians, we've got scientists, medical researchers, even some sports people. I think it's a broad reflection of the qualities of people we have around the nation.
Unlike me, you don't have to go overseas to realise your dreams. You can realise them right here. Just look into your own heart and look to your own land.
I'm going to continue to be myself, keep standing up for what I believe in, and hopefully by doing this, other people will follow.
Our Australians of the Year are truly extraordinary. We can all be proud of the contributions they have made to our nation and the remarkable things they have achieved. They lead us, inspire us, help those in need and make our country a far better place.
I think it's really important for all Australians to really think about who these people are and what they've done, not just for themselves, but for everyone.
There's a temptation to take the easy route. I think that life will be better if we mould it to make it as comfortable as possible. Time is short, get amongst it and take your kids with you.
For over 211 years, Australia Post has been at the heart of Australian communities, connecting them to each other and the world. We're thrilled to recognise the incredible Australian of the Year award recipients who make such a profound contribution to their communities and to the nation. And we're proud to support the Australian of the Year award and join you in celebrating these great Australians.
If I can make a difference to someone else's life, if they can draw some strength by hearing what I say and knowing that I'm speaking on their behalf, it'll give me a lot of hope.
I thank from the bottom of my heart those of you who give of your time, give of your expertise, give of your hearts, and especially those who risk their lives to make this country the greatest place on earth. Thank you.
The Australian of the Year, they really do reflect what's important as an individual and collectively as a nation to the rest of the country, and they'll continue to shape the nation as we move in the future.
And now the nominees for the 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year are...
Ronnie Benbow, the founder and CEO of the only charity in Australia that provides free wellness programs to carers. Through the Carers Foundation, Ronnie has created a safe healing space for more than 1,000 carers to learn practical wellbeing strategies, establish peer support networks and enjoy a much-needed break from the mental, physical and emotional stress of their caring duties. Ronnie is also committed to raising awareness of the importance of carers, establishing the Who Cares campaign to provide a voice for this often overlooked sector. Dr. Rolf Gomes, a cardiologist and the founder of Heart of Australia, which brings specialist services to rural communities. In 2014, Rolf launched the first purpose-built self-sufficient mobile medical clinic to provide several private clinic rooms, a testing room and a reception area for patients. Heart of Australia has now expanded its fleet to proudly service 22 rural and outback communities, with 2 additional clinics currently under construction. The health service has welcomed more than 10,000 patients across 22 bush communities throughout Queensland, saving the lives of over 400 rural Australians by diagnosing previously undetected critical cardiac conditions. Melissa McGuinness, whose programs change driving behaviours and prevent youth road trauma. Since 2017, Melissa has engaged with over 50,000 young Australians, presenting You Choose youth road safety programs in schools across the country. She empowers young people to take accountability for their driving choices and develop better driving attitudes. Melissa's program has been embraced and championed by schools, parents, police and the Australian Road Safety Foundation. Dr. Dinesh Palipana, the first quadriplegic medical graduate and medical intern in Queensland. Dinesh, a senior resident doctor at Gold Coast University Hospital, co-founded Doctors with Disabilities Australia. The organisation has worked with the Australian Medical Association to create first-of-kind national policies for inclusivity in medical education and employment. Through his writing, media representation and speaking opportunities, Dinesh has strongly advocated for equitable treatment for people with disabilities. His impact has been recognised with numerous awards, including Junior Doctor of the Year and an Order of Australia.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, won't you, for our nominees. What incredible work they are doing for Queenslanders and more broadly for Australians. I'd now like to invite our 2020, last year's recipient of the Queensland Australian of the Year, Rachel Downey, to the stage to share a little bit about her experience over the past 12 months. Rachel is an educator, social entrepreneur who developed and self-funded Stymie, which allows students to anonymously report harm without fear. Would you please put your hands together for Rachel Downey.
Good evening, everyone. I think, like the rest of you, I'm just excited to be out. Although it looks like I'm looking at a big game of chess or musical chairs or something out there. Good evening, everyone. Premier Palaszczuk, and congratulations. Distinguished guests and nominees. 2020, what a crazy year. I guess 2020 has been a year filled with deep worry and struggles, most of which actually have been out of our control, historically unprecedented and life-altering. For me, the honour and significant achievement of being 2020 Queensland Australian of the Year hasn't been diminished by these worries or struggles. And in fact, the work that we've been doing with Stymie, child protection and keeping young people safe from harm, suicide ideation, family violence and bullying has actually, unfortunately, been in high demand. Through the work that I do, I tell people that I aspire to inspire before I expire, because it's been like that some days. So to Ronnie, Dr. Gomes, Melissa, Dr. Palipana, your strength and commitment, your generosity and wherewithal applied to issues of national significance are the reason that you're here tonight. You deserve to be here tonight. I'm so excited for you, and thank you very much for the work that you do every day. So when all of you have those moments, and I was speaking to some nominees as we were coming in this evening, we have these moments of like, why am I here? I can't believe that I'm here. Believe that you need to be here. People want you here, and they already have a deep sense of faith in you, and they are going to help you get to where you're going. And for the rest of us, I'd like to leave you with some words this evening from Lily Tomlin. And I find these kind of, for me, encapsulate the spirit of the Australian of the Year Awards. And they go something like this. I used to sit around and go, why hasn't someone done something about this? And then I realised that I'm a someone. So good evening, enjoy the rest of the night, and thank you very much for the invitation.
Such great words, aren't they, Rachel? Well done.
Oh, that sums it up so
Yeah.
much, you know, from inspiring before expiring. I love that phrase. That is superb,
But
isn't it?
I feel guilty. Well, why hasn't someone done something?
Yeah, well, no
You
more
don't
can you
know.
ask that question. You can be that someone,
Yeah.
and that is what all our nominees for Queensland's Australian of the Year have done. They have done that something. So, Premier, it's over to you. Who is the 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year?
Okay, the magic envelope here. The 2021 Australian of the Year for Queensland is Dr. Dinesh Palipana.
Congratulations, yes. Wow. How are you feeling about that?
Awesome.
Awesome. What first inspired you to do what you do and to set up Doctors with Disabilities?
You know, I just so it's funny because we have my fellow nominees, road trauma and carers, and a doctor as well, so very closely linked to me. And I had a road trauma 10 years ago, and after that I got the spinal cord injury and started using a wheelchair, I realised that the world wasn't equal to people with disabilities. And it was really the challenges that I went through with life and education and employment that inspired me to do all these things.
Yeah, and since then, what are the advances that have been made that you've helped to achieve?
I think it's been a team effort, and we've brought about changes into medical education. COVID-19's been a really big issue for people with disabilities, and we've been able to do some work to make sure that people are treated equitably during COVID-19 as well. So it's just, you know, I've been able to work with some amazing people to bring about some changes.
And we're hearing some great medical advances for people with spinal cord injuries. What's the latest with that? Because I heard something just even last week, some promising news.
Yeah, there's a bunch of amazing research going on right here in Queensland. So again, I work with a group of people to hopefully bring about some research that will mean perhaps I could stand here and talk to you one day.
When you had your accident, though, how was your mind then? Did you think that one day you would be up here talking to people about the work that you'd done?
No. It was such a dark, dark time. You're laying there in a hospital bed, staring at the ceiling. You don't know if it's night or day. You can't move your legs. You can't feel anything below your chest, and it's such a big change to come to terms with. And I couldn't even eat or talk a full sentence for weeks. And then I ate a steak, which was really good.
And what helped you to change your mind?
I think you just, when you're put in a situation, you just do what you have to do. And I've had some amazing people around me, my mum being one of them, who's right there, so she's...
Oh, yes.
And I've had friends and family that have helped me get here, and I'm really lucky to live in Australia as well, because we have opportunities.
What will this award mean going forward for you with your work?
I think it'll be an amazing platform to just show what someone could do if you give them a chance. And I hope that it'd inspire all Australians with different abilities and different backgrounds to chase their dream.
And what's on the table for next year?
Oh, a bunch of things.
Come on, can you tell us one?
So I've got the spinal cord research project, which is really exciting. And we're hoping to make some advances. I'm going to be working in the emergency department as a doctor, and one of my bosses is right there with me.
Where is he? What's his name?
She.
She? Where is she? There she is. Sitting next to your mum.
Yeah, sitting next to my mum. And I'm also writing a book. So
You're writing a book? Yeah. What's your book called?
I'm thinking Unparalysed.
Wow.
Because, disability is a funny word because I don't really feel disabled. And I hope that these kind of stories make other Australians not feel disabled as well, that they're a part of the community, that they're included, and that they can do things. But yes.
Well, congratulations, Queensland's Australian of the Year for 2021. Dr. Dinesh Palapana, everyone. Well done. Here's your award.
And there's nothing better than a kiss from your mum when you receive an award like this.
In
Ladies
front
and
of
gentlemen,
everyone.
please put your hands together for our Queensland Australian of the Year for 2021.
Woohoo! Yeah.
And that strength, as you talk about, Dinesh, out of the darkness to see light and to do what you do now, that is the message to walk away from, ladies and gentlemen, and to go and spread the word that you can be that change that you want to see in Queensland, around the country. So to all our recipients tonight here in Brisbane, put your hands together for Dinesh, Auntie McRose, Daniel, William, Natasha, our recipients of Queensland Australian of the Year Awards.
And thank you also to the Premier for coming along tonight and announcing the awards. It's been wonderful to have you up here. Thank you.
We'd now like to invite you all to stand, to rise if you can, as Waveney Yasso joins you once more to perform the Australian National Anthem.
There we are. That's nice little intro. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land that we meet on tonight: Turrbal, Yagara, Malinjali, Yugambeh, Jinnabara and Quandamooka people. The first verse will be performed in English, and then the second verse I'll perform in Yugambeh. It's just my way of connecting everybody and acknowledging that we have a beautiful history. Australians will let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden see how land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In the history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair. Karaku penjara nali, nali paling nakandai jam. Bukuram jagun, one good naningir, tunggung gagu malan jagun nalingir. Karabul margarita gigan, pan mala jagun nalingir. Geriba nalinga namba, layam brumawanda jagigan jagun. Yerubai nalingin yengur, wanda jagigan jagun, wanda jagigan jagun.
Thank you, Waveney.
Thanks so much, Waveney. This evening's award recipients are now both our Queensland recipients, of course, for 2021, and they will be representing our great state at the Australian of the Year Awards nationally next year. The PM, he will make that announcement on the eve of Australia Day, Monday the 25th of January, live at 7:30 p.m. from the National Arboretum in Canberra.
Oh,
And
yes.
you can watch ABC for all that coverage.
But don't we wish them all the very best of luck, our recipients, our nominees, every success also in the future. You are very inspiring. We've loved hearing the stories and just what you do. Please keep it up.
Yeah, and if you take those selfies, make sure you share them tonight as well using the hashtag Oz of the Year, AUS of the Year, please. Continue that conversation. We'll be outside for refreshments in a moment because that brings us to the end of the formal proceedings, but we'd love you to stick around. Make those connections. Spread the word of the stories that you've heard here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to just have a little think. Start that process, the cogs turning in your head as to who you might even like to nominate next year. Those nominations, they are open already. All the details are on the website, australianoftheyear.org.au.
Because there are so many great people doing wonderful things in our community and they deserve the recognition. Thank you to the Premier for joining us this evening here on this special occasion. And finally, may we ask the 2021 recipients and nominees to come forward to the stage for photographs. Everybody else, just, yes, join us in the foyer, but we want to get some photographs of you wonderful people.
Yep, nominees and recipients. Please, once more, before you go anywhere though, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, whistle, cheer, whatever you would like to do for those we have been celebrating tonight, our nominees and recipients for the 2021 Queensland Australian of the Year Awards.
Woohoo! Go Queensland. And go Queensland tomorrow night too.
Yeah.
State of origin.
You betcha. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Craig Zonka.
Loretta Ryan, it's been lovely to be
We host the Breakfast Show on ABC Radio Brisbane. Hope you can tune in tomorrow morning from 5 o'clock as well. We need to get a plug in if we can. But of course, travel safe, remain arm's distance away from those around you. Don't forget, this is a COVID-safe event. Have a wonderful night and all the very best for what we round out 2020 and look ahead at what's to come for 2021.
And goodbye to
much.
those watching on the live stream too.
See you, everyone.
Wave, everyone. Bye.
Turn around, give them a wave before you go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. And
Good night.
congratulations once more to nominees and recipients tonight. Thank you.